Have you ever found yourself lying awake at night, staring at the ceiling, wondering how things ever got this way? How did the people you loved the most, the ones you trusted with your whole heart, turn into strangers? Maybe you've asked yourself, was it something I did? Something I said? If you have, please know this, you are not alone. And more importantly, what you're feeling is real. It matters, and it deserves to be heard. Today, we're going to have a conversation that many people shy away from. It's not easy to talk about, and it's even harder to live through. The pain of being rejected, hurt, or abandoned by your own family. But ignoring it won't make it disappear. And pretending it doesn't hurt only buries the pain deeper, where it continues to wound us in ways we don't even see. That's why we're here, to finally talk about it openly, honestly, and most of all, gently. Together. So let's sit down, take a breath, and begin. Because understanding why family rejection happens, and more importantly, learning how to heal from it, can change everything. Sometimes, the most heartbreaking betrayals aren't the ones you see coming. They're the ones that blindside you. A cold shoulder where there used to be a warm embrace. A harsh word where there once was laughter. When it's someone from your own bloodline, it cuts deeper than anything else. After all, we grow up believing that family is supposed to be our safest place, our first home. The people who are supposed to stand by us when the rest of the world walks away. And when that foundation crumbles, it feels like the ground disappears beneath our feet. Many of us, especially those of us who grew up in a different time, were taught that family is sacred. That no matter what happens, you stay. You forgive. You endure. We were raised to believe that loyalty to blood is more important than loyalty to our own well-being. But here's something I need you to hear, maybe for the first time. You are not obligated to keep being hurt just because someone shares your last name. There are so many reasons why family rejection happens, and often, they have very little to do with anything you did or didn't do. Sometimes it's about jealousy, the silent resentment that simmers under the surface because your light shines too brightly for someone else's comfort. Sometimes it's about old, unhealed wounds, their wounds, not yours, that they take out on you without even realizing it. And sometimes it's simply because they are not capable of loving you in the way you deserve to be loved. You could have been the kindest, most patient, most forgiving person in the world, and still, it might not have changed a thing. Their betrayal isn't a reflection of your worth. It's a reflection of their own brokenness. Let that truth sink in a little. It's not about you. It was never about you. When we are hurt by family, it's natural to start replaying everything in our minds. Every conversation, every disagreement, every moment where maybe we could have said something different or done something better. We grasp for control because if we can find the mistake we made, maybe we can fix it. Maybe we can win their love back. But love, real love, is not something you have to earn. It is not something you have to fight for. And if someone withholds love unless you meet impossible conditions, that is not love. That is manipulation. Think about this for a moment. When a flower doesn't bloom, do we blame the flower or do we look at the environment it's growing in? The soil, the sunlight, the water? You, my dear friend, are not broken because someone couldn't or wouldn't nurture you. You are not defective because someone else couldn't see your value. You are still whole. You are still worthy. You are still beautifully, wonderfully enough. And yet, I know that doesn't erase the ache. Especially during the quiet moments, holidays, birthdays, those days when you remember how things should have been. There's an empty chair at the table, an unreturned phone call, a silence that is louder than any words ever could be. That kind of loneliness isn't just about missing a person. It's about mourning the version of family you deserved but never had. It's about grieving what could have been, what should have been. Grief is part of healing, even when it's messy, even when it feels endless. And here's something important. You have the right to grieve a family that's still living. You have the right to feel the loss, even if the people you're grieving are still out there living their lives without you. Your pain is valid. Your heartbreak is real. Sometimes when we try to talk about this pain, people around us, even well-meaning ones, tell us things like, "Just move on," or "Family is family." They mean well, but their words can make you feel even more isolated, as if your hurt isn't allowed to exist, as if the fact that you're hurting somehow makes you the problem. But you are not the problem. You are not wrong for feeling the way you do. You are not wrong for wanting love, respect, kindness, the very basics of human connection. Healing doesn't mean pretending it didn't happen. Healing doesn't mean plastering a smile on your face and acting like everything's fine. Healing starts by telling the truth, first to yourself. This hurt me. This mattered. This changed me. Because pretending it didn't only keeps you stuck. Naming the pain is the beginning of letting it go. You may have spent years carrying this silent weight on your shoulders, trying to be strong, trying not to make waves, trying to convince yourself it wasn't as bad as it felt. But strength isn't about carrying pain silently. True strength is about allowing yourself to feel, to grieve, to acknowledge what you needed and didn't receive. True strength is giving yourself permission to heal. And healing is possible. It really is. Even if it doesn't look like reconciliation, even if it doesn't come with an apology, healing can happen right where you are, within your own heart. It begins when you choose to stop blaming yourself for someone else's failure to love you well. It begins when you start seeing yourself not through the lens of their rejection, but through the truth of your own resilience. It begins when you dare to believe that you deserve better. Not because you have to prove it to anyone, but because you already do. It's a journey. It's not always a straight line. Some days you'll feel strong, and other days the sadness will sneak up on you. That's okay. Healing isn't about never feeling pain again. It's about learning that the pain doesn't control you anymore. It's about finding your peace, even if it looks different than you once dreamed. Sometimes we hold on to hope longer than we should, don't we? We tell ourselves, maybe if I just try harder, maybe if I say the right thing, maybe if I give it more time, they'll see how much I care and they'll come around. It's natural. It's human. We want to fix things, especially with the people we thought would never hurt us. But holding on to hope for people who choose to hurt you again and again is like holding onto a rope that's cutting deeper into your hands. The longer you cling to it, the deeper the wound becomes. It's important to know that hope itself isn't wrong. Having a big heart, wanting to believe the best in people, that's beautiful. But there's a difference between hope and self-sacrifice. There's a difference between patience and self-destruction. Real love does not ask you to abandon yourself. It doesn't ask you to endure endless pain in the name of loyalty. When we grow up believing that family should be untouchable, we start to confuse love with suffering. We think that if we hurt enough, endure enough, prove ourselves enough, somehow it will buy us the love and acceptance we long for. But love isn't earned through pain. Real love doesn't put you in a position where you have to choose between being true to yourself and being accepted. Real love meets you where you are. It doesn't punish you for existing. If being around certain family members means shrinking yourself, walking on eggshells, hiding your true feelings just to keep the peace, then that is not peace. That's fear disguised as loyalty. It's a hard truth, but an important one. Not everyone who shares your bloodline shares your values. Not everyone who shares your DNA is capable of offering you the love, support, and respect you deserve. And that's not your failure. It's not your fault. It's simply the reality of human relationships. You see, healing after family betrayal isn't about changing them. It's about changing the way you see yourself. It's about reclaiming your right to exist without constantly having to defend, prove, or diminish yourself for someone else's comfort. It's about standing in your truth, even if your voice shakes, even if your heart aches, even if your knees feel like they might give out from under you. Healing is realizing that you deserve relationships built on respect and mutual care, not obligation. Healing is giving yourself permission to create a new definition of family, one that is based not on blood ties, but on love, kindness, and understanding. Sometimes the deepest healing begins when you finally allow yourself to walk away from what harms you, even if it wears the name family. I know it's not easy. There's a deep fear that comes with letting go, especially when you've been conditioned to believe that family must be everything. You might worry, if I leave, will I be all alone? But here's something to hold close. You were already carrying the loneliness when you stayed. You were already feeling unseen, unheard, unloved. Stepping away doesn't create the loneliness. It simply gives you the chance to fill your life with people who truly see you, love you, and choose you, without conditions. Choosing yourself might feel like the loneliest path at first, but over time, it becomes the road to freedom. It becomes the path where you meet the people who genuinely belong in your life. People who celebrate your existence rather than endure it. People who remind you every single day that you are enough. Not because of what you do, not because of how you sacrifice, but simply because you are you. It's also important to talk about forgiveness. Forgiveness gets thrown around a lot when it comes to family, doesn't it? Some people will tell you that you must forgive and forget, that you must pretend it didn't happen, that you must go back to the same relationships that broke you. But forgiveness isn't about erasing the past or ignoring the hurt. It's not about pretending that everything is fine when it's not. Forgiveness, real forgiveness, is about releasing the grip that anger and resentment have on your heart. Forgiveness is something you do for your own peace, not for theirs. It's not about letting them off the hook. It's about unhooking yourself from the pain so you can move forward. It's about saying, I refuse to let what you did define the rest of my life. Forgiveness does not require reconciliation. It does not require reopening doors you have already closed for your own protection. You can forgive someone completely and still choose never to let them near your heart again. And that choice, my friend, is not bitterness. It's wisdom. It's growth. It's survival. You deserve to build a life that is full of warmth, full of light, full of people who choose you in the ways you deserve. A life where love isn't a weapon, where respect isn't something you have to earn by losing pieces of yourself. A life where family isn't just about blood, but about true belonging. No matter what anyone says, no matter how society tries to guilt you into silence, you are allowed to honor your own heart. You are allowed to protect your peace. You are allowed to choose relationships that nurture you instead of wounding you. You are allowed to heal, fully, deeply, and beautifully. One of the hardest parts of healing from family betrayal is learning how to trust again. Not just trusting other people, but trusting yourself. After being hurt so deeply by the very people you were supposed to count on, it's only natural to second-guess your instincts, to wonder if you'll ever get it right. You might even find yourself keeping a distance from good people, afraid that if you let them get too close, you'll be hurt all over again. But trust isn't about finding perfect people. It's about learning to trust your own judgment, your own ability to set boundaries, to walk away when something doesn't feel right, to stay when it does. It's about remembering that the person who survived the hurt, the person who picked themselves up time and time again, is stronger than they realize. You are that person, and you deserve relationships where you can breathe easy, where you don't have to constantly prove your worth, where love isn't conditional or fragile or weaponized against you. You deserve spaces where your heart can open without fear, where your soul can rest without having to armor up every time you walk into the room. Part of creating those spaces means letting go of the idea that healing has to involve the people who hurt you. It doesn't. Healing is your journey, and it belongs to you alone. The people who wounded you don't get to be the ones who decide when or how you heal. They don't get to dictate the terms of your recovery. You don't need their apology to move forward. You don't need their understanding. You don't need them to change in order for you to be free. You are already free the moment you decide that your peace matters more than their approval. And yes, sometimes that means building a new family. A chosen family. People who aren't related to you by blood, but are connected to you by something even deeper. Mutual love, respect, and kindness. The friend who listens without judgment. The neighbor who checks in on you just because. The community member who shows up when you least expect it, but need it most. Family isn't just who you're born to. Family is who you build. It's the people who celebrate your victories, grieve your losses, and stand with you in the messy middle when life isn't easy or pretty. It's the people who remind you with their actions, not just their words, that you are valued, you are needed, you are loved. There's something incredibly powerful about giving yourself permission to create a new story. To stop chasing the approval of those who refuse to see you. To stop banging on doors that were never going to open in the way you needed them to. To turn around and start walking toward a future where you don't have to earn love by hurting yourself. The wounds of family betrayal are real and deep and lasting. I won't pretend otherwise. But they are not the final word on your life. They do not get to be the period at the end of your story. If anything, they are a hard and painful chapter. But not the last chapter, because your story is still being written. And in these pages yet to come, you get to be the one who chooses how it unfolds. You get to choose love that is gentle. You get to choose connections that lift you up. You get to choose a life where you no longer carry the heavy, invisible weight of trying to fix what you didn't break. Sometimes healing looks like big, sweeping changes. Other times it looks like tiny, quiet victories. Like allowing yourself to feel joy again without guilt. Like saying no without apology. Like realizing that you don't have to explain your boundaries to anyone who truly respects you. Healing is not about erasing the past. It's about learning how to live with it, with courage, with grace, and with the unshakable belief that you deserve a full, rich, beautiful life, even if the people who were supposed to love you didn't know how. There will be days when the sadness still creeps in. There will be moments when you feel the old ache rise up like a tide. And that's okay. Healing isn't about never feeling hurt again. It's about not letting the hurt define you anymore. It's about learning that you are not broken because someone else was careless with your heart. You are not too much or too little or too difficult to love. You are not the sum of someone else's inability to appreciate you. You are whole. You are worthy. You are enough. Right now. Exactly as you are. And if no one else has told you lately, let me be the one to say it. You deserve to be loved well. You deserve to be treated with kindness. You deserve a life that feels like peace, not pain. And you deserve to choose yourself without guilt or shame. So as you move forward, carry this truth with you. Family isn't just about blood. Family is about love, and real love, the kind that sees you, cherishes you, lifts you up. That kind of love is still possible. It's still waiting for you, maybe in unexpected places, maybe in ways you never imagined, but it's there, and you are worthy of it, always. You know, healing after family betrayal is not just about patching up the wounds. It's about rewriting the story you tell yourself about who you are. It's about letting go of the belief that you are somehow unworthy because of the way someone else treated you. It's about realizing that their actions were a reflection of them. Their fears, their limitations, their unhealed pain, and never a reflection of your value. For too long, you may have been carrying a weight that was never yours to bear. You may have thought that if you were just better somehow, more forgiving, more patient, more perfect. You could have earned the love you needed. But love isn't something you should ever have to earn. Love, real love, is a gift freely given, not a prize you win by sacrificing yourself. And today, if you take nothing else from this conversation, take this: you are not broken. You were never broken. You were hurt, yes, deeply, unfairly. But underneath all that pain is a spirit that is still strong, still shining, still capable of incredible joy. Sometimes rebuilding your life means starting small. It's letting yourself enjoy the sunshine on your face without thinking about who isn't there to see it. It's making a new friend, reaching out to a neighbor, finding a group or community where your heart feels safe. It's giving yourself permission to create new memories that aren't colored by betrayal or disappointment. It's understanding that life didn't end at the point of your deepest hurt. That even now, there are still new beginnings waiting for you. Not because you forgot the past, but because you honored it, grieved it, and chose to keep moving forward anyway. Healing is not linear. Some days you'll feel powerful, ready to take on the world. Other days, the grief will come crashing back without warning. Both are part of the journey. Neither means you're failing. They just mean you're human, navigating the messy, beautiful process of becoming whole again. If you ever feel overwhelmed, remember this: you don't have to have it all figured out to take the next step. You don't have to heal perfectly to deserve peace. You just have to keep choosing yourself, even when it's hard, even when it's scary. Every time you honor your own heart, you are healing. Every time you say, "I deserve better," you are healing. Every time you choose peace over chaos, truth over silence, self-respect over guilt, you are healing. And little by little, those choices start to add up. They build a life that feels lighter, a life that feels freer, a life where you don't have to constantly look over your shoulder waiting for the next wound. There's a beautiful truth that many people don't talk about enough. Sometimes the greatest families are the ones we choose, the ones we build with our own hands and open hearts. The people who come into our lives not because they have to, but because they want to. The people who stay not out of obligation, but out of love. And there's something even more beautiful, something incredibly empowering, about realizing that you can be family to others too. You can be the safe place. You can be the open arms. You can be the voice that says, "You are loved, just as you are." Not just for yourself, but for others who are still searching for that feeling. Your story doesn't have to end in betrayal. It doesn't have to end in pain. It can be the beginning of something stronger, something more genuine, something fiercely beautiful. You are not the abandonment. You are not the rejection. You are not the silence or the cruelty. You are the resilience. You are the love you were always worthy of. You are the hope that even now, even after everything, still dares to believe in something better. There is life after betrayal. There is love after loss. There is joy after heartbreak. And it's waiting for you, not in the people who couldn't see your worth, but in the ones who will. Not in the places that wounded you, but in the spaces you create for yourself, filled with light, filled with kindness, filled with the simple, steady truth that you are enough. You have always been enough. If today is a heavy day, if the memories feel overwhelming, I want you to take a deep breath with me. Right here, right now. Feel your own heart beating. Feel your own breath moving in and out of your lungs. That, my dear friend, is life. That is proof that despite everything, you are still here, still standing, still capable of beautiful things. Your best days are not behind you. They are still ahead of you. And as you walk forward, you are not walking alone. There are people, maybe even people you haven't met yet, who will love you the way you deserve. There are new stories waiting to be written, new connections waiting to be made, new chapters that will be filled not with pain, but with peace. If you connected with anything we shared today, if your heart found even a little comfort here, I hope you'll stay connected with us. Leave a comment below and tell your story. Your truth matters more than you know. If you found value in this message, give this video a thumbs up and subscribe for more encouragement and hope right when you need it most. Remember, you are not alone in this journey. You are deeply, beautifully, and completely worthy of the kind of love that doesn't hurt, the kind that heals. Here's to building a life that feels like home, surrounded by the kind of family that sees you, values you, and loves you, exactly as you are. Here's to your new beginning, and here's to living your best, brightest life at any age.